The Magi Society is the world's largest and fastest-growing association of scientific astrologers and has made many exciting discoveries through meticulous research with the aid of computers and their own unique software. The Magi Society has developed a system of astrology that follows carefully tested principles and includes techniques not used in traditional astrology. The Magi Society calls their body of work Magi Astrology. This is part 2 of a 2-part video comparing Magi astrology to traditional astrology.
When the stock markets crashed on October 19, 1987, there were numerous squares. Here we see a chart time of 9 a.m. when the stock market opened. At that time, Scorpio was on the ascendant, ruled by either Pluto or Mars. This is a point of contention within traditional astrology. If you use Pluto as the ruler of Scorpio, you would observe Pluto and Venus, two financial planets, and a conjunction in the 12th house of disappointment. If you use Mars as the rule of the chart, you would see that Mars is square Neptune, meaning strife, a traditional meaning for Mars, and confusion, a traditional meaning for Neptune. That, however, does not explain a worldwide breakdown of the markets. In the Magi astrology chart, we observe and agree Mars, representing competition, was square to the planet representing financial security, symbolized by Neptune. However, in Magi astrology, it is customary to examine the heliocentric chart as well as the geocentric chart because the Magi Society has found that the heliocentric chart is quite significant, especially in financial astrology. This vivid T-square involves Mars, Chiron, Saturn, and Uranus. Remember in part 1, we said that the more planets there are in the planetary pattern, the more powerful the pattern. Competitive activity, represented by Mars, disrupted, symbolized by the square, the economy, symbolized by Chiron, on a global scale, symbolized by Uranus, and Saturn is an added ingredient in this T-square, which can cause shortages, delays, and breakdowns. The trading caused by the breakdown of the worldwide market system earned this crash the name Black Monday. If a T-square is disruptive, then it follows that a grand cross involving 4 or more planets square to one another will be even more troublesome. Look at the chart for the very next day, October 20th, 1987. And you'll see that Mercury has entered the pattern and created a grand cross. This chart explains precisely what occurred during the week of October 1987, when the stock market crash caused illogical panic selling. Mercury, being the ruler that symbolizes logic, typifies this crash, which has been blamed on program traders who set computers to automatically perform stock market trades. In Magi astrology, Uranus symbolizes technology as well as anything worldwide, and Uranus is part of this grand cross. But Mercury can rule the mind as well as anything that mimics the mind, including computers. Add Mercury for a complete planetary picture of what occurred with the stock market crash. Traditional astrology considers solar and lunar eclipses, but there are also planetary eclipses that are meaningful and help form the basis of a fundamental principle of Magi astrology. When any two astronomical bodies are conjunct in longitude and also parallel by declination, they can be said to be in an eclipse. In traditional astrology, this is called an occultation, but cannot be seen in a traditional chart wheel. As an example, Man o' War was one of the greatest racehorses of all time, foaled on March 29, 1917. Looking at his traditional chart, we would already be at a loss because we did not have a birth time. A traditional astrologer might notice that Mars square Pluto, usually interpreted as a bad temper, and trine Neptune, sometimes considered a sign of artistic ability. But that doesn't explain why Man of War won all but one of his races and why his offspring includes many champions of racing history. Mars is highlighted in planetary patterns in Man of War's chart, suggesting that he was highly competitive. Mars is particularly relevant to an athlete, and a racehorse is first and foremost an athlete. However, the Magi astrologer would look deeper and note that Venus and Mars are not only in conjunction, but also in parallel by declination, creating a planetary eclipse. When these two planets are combined, there is love, Venus of sports, Mars, and a love of aggressive activities. Here is one more secret of Magi astrology. When planetary eclipses occur, they are much more powerful than normal aspects. The Magi Society considers Venus and Mars in natal alignment to be a supersexual aspect, but these planets are also part of a planetary eclipse. Powerful man of war fathered War Admiral was the grandfather of Seabiscuit, and his potent genes have been passed on to numerous stakes winners and racetrack winners. Because Magi astrology includes the declinations, it is simple to see that this rare alignment occurred when Man of War was born.
Thank you for giving the Magi Society this opportunity to share some of the differences between traditional astrology and Magi astrology. If you would like to learn more about Magi astrology and the Magi Society, please visit our website at magiastrology.com.